Hello, the Plums Express video. Welcome to the last part of tr3 steering rack installation. So last video we put the rack itself in, we barely put the nuts on, and now we're going to do the last one, which is going to connect it up to the steering column. Once we have it on, then we can actually start to tighten up the rack, but we have to make sure we want to keep obviously this as ideally as straight as possible. In saying that, when we put it on, we want to measure, like it says, the gap between the lip and the bracket to make sure that the actual steering rack is not completely to one side, because that's not going to help either. Does it make a difference? Up to a degree, because obviously you can extend one tie rod one way to counterbalance it, but like ideally she should be pretty central. All right, so let's get this last piece on. Reverse order from the last one. So we had the knuckle here, and we had the last knuckle with the extension bar. For some reason, the 3 bolts and washers and nuts I got, 2 were the same and one was really small, so I don't know why. So I'm going to replace it with one that should fit better. Alright, so easiest way to do this. I suppose the easiest way to do this is I don't know what is the easiest way. It depends on somebody. It might be easier for you to get it from the top here and push it down, as long as the spline goes in. Do you have to grease these up? Don't have to. You can put a tiny bit on if you want it, but you don't have to grease them. They don't come greased. But again, nothing wrong with a little bit of grease in there to make it help slide out if you're ever taking it off again. Alright, so with a steering rack. It's going to be a bit of fun to get on. I might have to go down the bottom to get it. Let's see. Alright, I was going to just put my hand in and slide the other one and slide it on. Now, the thing is though, I have to see where the groove is. Obviously I want to keep it as straight as I can. Alright. So it might be easier for you to get it from down here. Let me show you. You have to drop the camera all the way down. So from inside here, it might be easier. So here it is here. It was there, so I can get to the access to the bolt there, handy enough. The only thing to make sure is, and I'm gonna need my light to see it, is if the hole for it lines up with the splice in the actual rack. Hopefully it stays there. Okay. Because the rack itself, the spline, there's that groove that the bolt goes through. If it doesn't line up, you'll know, because it shouldn't. The bolt shouldn't go all the way through, to be honest. Hand in here is hard. Jeez. Oh no. Next washer. the common thing for me, I'll miss something and I'll have a billion washers on the floor. The other part is getting the nut on. Right. That was no easy feature. I don't know what you could see of that, but just trying to get my hand in there to do that was pretty awkward. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have to tighten it. So it's a pretty small gap in there, so. Alright. The easiest I find is to use a spanner and a ratchet spanner. So does it make a difference which way that goes on? Not particularly, because it rotates all the way around anyway. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to fix the camera stand. Okay, now we're back to R2 knuckles. So that's what I was saying about this here. You have to make sure that the when you put it through, that the bolt goes through here. It's over here. All right, so I'm going to do what we've done the last one. As you can see, it's one fat one and one thin one. So, oops, the knuckle can only go on one way. So there's the bigger end, that's the smaller end. So again, it doesn't make much of a difference which way it goes on. However, here there's a bit more of a groove here. So I'm going to make sure if I can line that up with the threads. Alright, my little tap of the mallet. Obviously I need to bring it up far enough to get the other side in. The exact reverse of how we gotta do it. So I need to go up about another inch. Okay, let's go all the way up. Now where is... Now I'm looking for the, now has something to notice that the steering wheel can turn all the way around, right? Now the steering wheel will just keep rotating around. So if you want to adjust it here, you can adjust when you have it set up. Obviously you're going to take the steering wheel off and we're going to find out where the center of this is. Take the steering wheel off and then put the steering wheel back on in the center position. So I'm going to line this up with the threads. This one's lined up first, so I'm going to put the bolt in here before I tap in the rest of it. So otherwise it's going to keep moving on me. Oh, it's not lined up yet. The bolt won't go through. Oh, maybe that's what the small one was for. But it's too small, if you ask me. So yeah, so I got one smaller one. I'm wondering why. I just have to look and make sure she's lined up right. I think I might have to change one spline. Shouldn't have to though. I think I have to change one spline to get that in. But before I do, I'll see if the other one goes in. It's almost. So I feel like the splines are off in both of them just by one. I don't like tapping new stuff with a hammer, but so just has to go that way. Try again. If you're wondering how far to hit it down, do I have it up here? No. The inner hub here, so the spline, or this bar, as soon as that gets pretty much level with the inside, that's where you stop. If you're not too sure, have a look at the one that came off again, providing it's correct. For some reason I'm still off. Try myself to see it. That looks correct. Guess maybe it's a bit of loose, bit of metal shroud loose. Yep, something along that line. And I'm going to double check this one. See how far down the shaft I need to be. It's hard to see if it's off by 1. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to give it a little tap and see if it goes through. There we go. I have the wrong washer here. Yellow, yellow. Find where my washer fell on the floor now. Yeah, I don't know where it's gone. Which means it's like usual when you drop a washer in an engine bay, it sits on the frame somewhere. So do you know what? I have a lock washer here. I'll use that. Alright, so the steering is going to be absolutely all over the place right now. When you tighten these, you're not looking to close that gap. Just so you know. Alright, there we go. So let me show you what way it's sitting in there. So as you can see with the knuckles, the bottom one is only when it sort of comes flush in here. Pretty much when it comes flush in there, you can do it. Now I could loosen that and go up a fraction more I could, but that's still good enough. And same as the other one there. As you can see, it's pretty much right to the end. That's it. So now, what the next challenge is going to be is measuring to see where the steering rack actually comes in and out. Actually, sorry, I have to tighten her up. So I'm going to measure the gap from... It's sort of where the brackets sit onto the gap. So you're going to measure it and make sure it's equal both sides, and then we're going to clamp it down. From there, then what we'll do, I thought this would be the last part. I guess I'll do one more. I'll show you just then how to find the center. So basically, we're going to turn it all the way one way, turn it back the opposite way, and measure the travel distance of the rod, and then divide it in half, stop it right in the middle. And then we'll take our steering wheel off and put it in the middle, and then at least our steering is straight. Well, at least it's in the middle. And then from there, then it's just a matter of guessing these up as best you can until you can get it to the shop to go get the alignment done. All right, so I'll leave that. You're not going to be able to see much from me under there when I do that. So I'm going to tighten this down. And I'm going to measure the middle, tighten it down, and then I'll come back and we'll do the last quick little video where we're going to find the center of the steering rack. So, all right, almost done. See you in the next part.